One of the things that I really cannot stand when it comes to spirituality is weaponized spirituality. And when people don't have a full understanding of concepts and then they have the confidence to then speak on certain topics that then kind of perpetuate a lot of harm, to be honest. There have been literal people who have said that children have gotten raped because of the fact that it was their soul trying to teach them a lesson or some kind of karma from a past life or some shit like that. Not to mention the you chose it paradigm and your soul came here to learn lessons and blah 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 bullshit. Or my favorite, you create your own reality. So therefore everything bad that happens to you has to be a result of your own inability to then consciously filter and then create experiences from that standpoint. I've heard content creators come on here and say people have chosen to be homeless, and people who try to literally spiritualize every single fucking thing, even when sometimes it's literally just a shitty situation and a lot of trauma that happened as a result of it. Not everything has to have some kind of inherent spiritual meaning or some bigger purpose in your experience. And I really don't think that a soul would choose for a child to get abused for it to learn something. I really don't think that that is a efficient way for that to happen. I think that even though the statement that your beliefs create reality is a true statement, I don't think people truly understand how intricately woven and how deeply crafted these belief systems are before we are even aware of them, before we are even able to interact with them from that standpoint. Because there are a lot of beliefs that you might have that you simply cannot change, no matter, I wouldn't say no matter how hard you try, but it might be a little bit more difficult to change than simply just snapping your finger. But the point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of toxic spirituality, toxic paradigms, toxic concepts, and be very mindful of letting yourself feel bad because you heard some content creator tell you that there is some insane standard that you're supposed to be adhering to, when in reality they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, just to be completely honest. I'm never going to say that, there's a limit on manifestation or that it has to be hard, but the truth is that sometimes it can be difficult. Sometimes it can be hard. Sometimes it is a challenge. And it really just does depend on the area of your life that you're trying to affect or impact and other variables from there. And the truth of the matter is we are still in a shared reality to a certain degree. So if I were to go punch somebody, then that's still harming another individual. They might choose how they want to interact with it, but there's still a level of me being able to have free will and interact and impact other individuals and vice versa. And sometimes you can draw something into your experience just because you're a human fucking being and you are aware that shitty humans can exist. It doesn't always necessarily have to be that you have this insane underlying belief that you deserved it. Now, you can always shift those beliefs at some point and, say these experiences never happened to me, I'm always respected, I'm always loved, blah, 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 we get it. But the point I'm trying to make is just because it's happened to you doesn't mean that's inherently something that's your fault. You are not meant to control every facet of reality that you experience, much less people that, show up in your reality. Now, if it's a reoccurring pattern that happens consistently and you can't seem to shake having the same experience of a person being in the same energy being met in a different body over and over again, then that's different. If you experience like the same thing over and over and over again, then there could be some kind of energetic pattern that you might be unconsciously creating. But that's not to say that you're failing. That's not to say anything else aside from the fact that you might have had trauma that then set certain expectations that you might simply need to shift if you want to experience something different. And that's not of any fault to you. That's literally just how sometimes our experiences are in the physical realm. Not everybody gets into conscious creation. Not everybody gets into manifestation. Not everybody has the ability to simply just shift their paradigm. So the more that you are able to kind of give yourself compassion and approach it from this standpoint, then I'd like to say that the easier it is on you and the more of your free will that you access from there. But either way, peace and blessings, and I hope you have a great day.